Welcome, everyone, to the second of two Beyond Clean Vendor Spotlight webinars with RST Automation. We are so happy you've decided to join us today. I'd like to call your attention to a couple of features on your screen. On the upper right-hand corner, you will see the resources window where you can download product information, listen to a recent RST interview on the Beyond Clean podcast, and more. On the lower left, you will see a question and answer window. Throughout the presentation, feel free to submit any questions you have for our speaker. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So did you know that there is a way to reduce time needed to create, seal, and label a sterile instrument by 50 to 80%? Peel packing is one of those tasks in sterile processing that is repetitive. And because of that repetition, it is also error-prone. During this webinar, Braun Kiess will discuss the AIM Peel Pack system that assists sterile processing technicians through the full packaging process by automatically identifying the instruments and providing the correct packaging materials and labeling information. Braun, I am so excited to learn more about this technology.
Thanks so much, Lisa. It's my pleasure to present it to you. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Braun Kiess. I'm with RST Automation here, and it's my pleasure to be talking to you this morning about our Peel Pack system. Before we get into the Peel Pack system, I thought I'd just give you a little bit of background on who RST is and what we do. So we were founded, RST Automation was founded back in 2014. And with our technology, we feel like we've got a good shot at being a leader in providing automation systems for central sterile processing departments. Our goal ultimately is to develop systems that enhance the safety, efficiency, and effectiveness of the sterile processing environment. Talking about our technology, all of our products currently utilize our same core technology, which is really a combination of machine vision and artificial intelligence that when we combine those two allow us to automatically identify instruments or automatically recognize instruments. So this is achieved without any instrument marking, so no need to barcode your instruments or RFID them. We can just by using our cameras and our AI optically recognize the instruments without any need for marking. So that's sort of the core technology that underlines all of our products here at RST. We currently have three products in our product line. So we have our product called AIM Tray Assembly, which was actually the first product we introduced. We actually have a separate webinar recorded on that, which we did about a week or two ago. So if anyone's interested on that, you're welcome to view that. Tray assembly was a system we developed to help technicians assemble instrument trays more accurately and more efficiently. We also have our next product, which we introduced, was called AIM Storage. This system actually interfaces with AIM Tray Assembly and AIM Peel Pack. It was designed to help facilities better manage their excess instrument inventory. So we found a lot of facilities A, didn't know what they had in terms of excess instrument inventory, and B, where that inventory was located. So this system helps them keep track of that. And as I said, it does interface with our tray assembly and our peel pack system. So if there is missing instruments, you can actually send jobs from, for example, tray assembly. If a technician was assembling a tray, they realized at the end of the tray they're missing a few instruments, they can actually send that job over to our storage system, and it will help them in the retrieval of those instruments. We've also interfaced that system with Hanel with the Rotomat storage systems, so it can actually send jobs directly to the Hanel systems or whatever rotary storage system you might be using to, again, just make the whole instrument retrieval process much more efficient and much more accurate. And then we have our product that I'll be speaking to you about today, which is called our Peel Pack system, which is our most recent product. We just sort of launched this product commercially. We're real excited about it. It takes what I think most can agree is generally a pretty tedious task in making peel packs, and makes it just, again, much more efficient and much more consistent. So it'll, as we'll see, help technicians sort of automatically create peel packs in a much more efficient way. So those are currently the three products we offer. But let's talk a little bit about peel pack. So how did sort of the inspiration for this product come about? Well, while we were spending a lot of time, we spent quite a bit of time in sterile processing departments. And while we were there working with tray assembly and storage, we noticed that the peel pack area was looked like an area that could use some help. So specifically what we saw is that the current methods most facilities use to create their peel packs is really just very inefficient and very inconsistent, leading in a lot of wasted time and a lot of material waste and a lot of variation in product, right, in pouch size. So in general, right, just the process of creating these peel packs is just a very currently a very time-consuming, very disjointed process, right? The techs are sort of all over place collecting, different pieces of the puzzle in order to put the peel pack together. There's not a lot of consistency, so if you have different techs creating peel packs, they may be creating them in different sizes. We saw a lot of material waste, one just from human error, so sometimes, right, techs would realize they had cut the wrong size material. They would have to throw all that material away and sort of start over. And a lot of, unnecessary material costs. So a lot of facilities use, pre-made peel pouches, the sort of easy seal ones, or pre-sealed pouches. And those, right, have a much higher cost to them generally than the roll material, which is what our system utilizes. So a lot of material waste and a lot of sort of unnecessary material cost. And then when looking at production data in this area, it was often very difficult to obtain. And if we could obtain it, it was oftentimes inaccurate. So facilities really didn't have a good sense of how many peel packs they were making a day and who was making them and all that good stuff. So those are really the big areas that we saw as sort of problem areas. And our solution to that is the system we're talking about here today. It's a system we call AIM Peel Pack. AIM, by the way, stands for Assisted Instrument Management. So currently all three of our products fall in are sort of under our AIM family of products. And we feel these products really, because of our core technologies of machine vision and artificial intelligence, that, these products really do represent some real innovation in sterile processing. So what are some of the benefits of AIM Peel Pack? Well, again, the system, right, it uses our our machine vision technology to optically recognize the instruments. So a technician would simply lay an instrument down here on the surface, and it will optically recognize that instrument. It will then automatically create the right peel pouch size for that instrument. So that will basically automatically send a job over to the peel pouch dispensing unit here to create the correct size pouch for that unit. It can handle single or double pouching. So if your facility does use double pouches, it'll automatically then create both the pouch for the instrument and then also the next larger size to double pouch that. So it'll do that simultaneously. So it's a very kind of efficient, fast and efficient thing. The system features an easy-to-use touchscreen interface. So it's very easy and intuitive to operate, and it does interface with all major instrument management software out there. So whether you're using Microsoft's SPM or SensaTrack or another type of software, we do interface with all those different instrument management systems. And in general, the net benefit of all this, or one of the major benefits, is that it's going to reduce peel pouch assembly times anywhere from 50 to 80%. So it's just a much faster, much more efficient, and much more consistent process for peel pouching. So with that, I just wanted to get a little bit of input from you guys, learn a little bit more about your facilities, and have a poll question here up on the screen. And the question is just, what instrument management software do you use at your facility? And if you just make sure you scroll down, you'll see a few more options, and then also the submit button. So just scroll all the way to the bottom, and if you could just select one of those answers and hit submit, and it'll just give you a few seconds to do that. All right, I think we should be starting to see some results come in here. So let's see what we've got. Okay, looks like majority were using Microsystems SPM, about 30% using SensaTrack, and another 10% using TDoc. And let's see, 10% use no tracking systems, and 10% are using a different system. So great, right? Just some interesting information. let me now give you sort of just an overview of the system here. So when we're looking at this system, what we have here is our vision unit. So this is where the technician would place the instruments, the surface they would place the instrument on. They would then just hit process on the touchscreen there, which you see sort of to the right. It's attached to the vision unit there, and that's the touchscreen that the technicians would use to interface with the system. So you then just hit process. It'll ID it. It'll automatically then send the job over to the bag maker, which you see there, which you can't really see the back of that right now, but what it has is it has a lot of different sized bags sort of in the back there, and you'll see that. I'm going to play a demonstration video here for you next. And you'll see how that sort of bag maker works. So it'll automatically select the correct size bag. It will seal, the bottom of the bag. It will then dispense the bag to the correct length and cut it and give it to the technician. Once the technician has the bag, they can just confirm that they have the bag, and the system will then print out the label to be placed on the bag. Now we have a label printer shown here. You probably have a label printer if you're using instrument management software. There's probably a label printer already in this area. So in practice, we would actually use the label printer. You'd use the same. Our system would use the same label printer that you're currently using in this area. But for demonstration purposes, we have a label printer attached. That's our own, just for, again, primarily for demonstration purposes. If you don't have a label printer, then we could certainly provide a label printer for you. What I'd like to do next is just sort of play you a quick demonstration video on the system, and it'll just show you sort of the functionality here on the system. I should note the bag maker, right? So the bag maker has, as you'll see, about 20 inches of capacity or width in the back to accommodate bags. So our sort of standard configuration for that is we would put a 2-inch bag, a 3-inch bag, a 4-inch bag, and a 6-inch bag back there. That would sort of be the standard configuration. We can actually, the system can utilize more than one bag maker. So, and we usually recommend that most facilities employ 2 bag makers. So we simply stack them. So there'd just be a second bag maker stacked on top of the first one here. And the first bag maker would have the 2, 3, 4, and 6-inch rolls. And then the second bag maker would have the 8, 10-inch rolls. And we can customize those configurations to your facility. So again, you have a total of about 20 inches of space back there that we can, customize any configuration you might want. But that's sort of the standard configuration, and we find with those 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 and 10, that covers just about every size that's commonly used in this area, and that will then allow you to just switch all of your, utilizing 2 bag makers essentially allows you to switch all of your peel packed production over to this system. And again, you'll then be able to use just roll material. By the way, the system works with any roll material, so you don't have to purchase our roll material at all. Whatever currently roll material you're purchasing is fine from whatever vendor it is you're purchasing it from. And it will accommodate also both Tyvek and paper poly. So we can do either material on the system. The system will just adjust the heat of the seal depending on the material being used. So it's compatible with, again, any brand of material, any brand of roll material that you're currently purchasing. No need to buy it from us or anything. And it will also work with both Tyvek and paper poly. So with that, let me go ahead and just play this short demonstration video, and then we'll pick it up from there. Okay, so let's see. So just in case you're wondering, your sound wasn't broken. There is no sound currently to that video. It's just sort of a rough cut of some footage. We're in the production here of kind of the final version of that video. But I thought it would be helpful just to give you a sense of how the system works. So you saw how it created both a single pouch, and then if you chose double pouching, it would create a double pouch for you. Automatically prints the label, and again, we could stack those bag dispensing units again in the configuration I previously spoke about to really cover all the common sizes that are currently used. So if we look at how this sort of changes the process flow, right, it really cuts the number of steps by more than 50% in the making of a peel pouch. So you can see here sort of the process flow without AIM and the process flow with AIM, and basically the peel pack system is just doing a lot, right? A lot of the steps that would otherwise be handled manually, the system is just doing automatically, right? So identifying the instrument, selecting the right size bag, cutting it to the right length, sealing it, printing the label. Right, all those things are just happening automatically, and if you're double bagging, also simultaneously. I should mention too, if you needed to, if a technician say needed to make, had 10 of the same instruments that they needed to peel pouch, they could simply then also just input the quantity. So they could put the first instrument down, have it automatically ID'd, input quantity 10, and the system would just spit out 10 peel pouches and 10 labels for them. So the quantity is selectable. So when we think about the benefits that occur from this improved process flow, really they fall into three categories. One, the system saves a lot of time just in the production of the peel pouches. It's using less material. So again, you're always getting the correct size bag, the correct width bag, cut to the correct length. And not only are we using less material, we're also using less expensive material. So instead of, again, using pre-sealed pouch material, now you can switch all of your material purchasing to roll material, and which is generally less expensive. So less material simply because there's less human error in the process. You're always getting the right size bag at the right length, the right width bag at the right length, and it's also less expensive material. And that consistency, that we just spoke about, again, you're always getting the right width bag cut to the right length, and you now have a very consistent product being produced. So I wanted to just again ask another question to you folks in the audience, just to give us the opportunity to get to know you a little more. Question here is, how many peel packs does your department currently produce? And you'll see some options here. And again, if you just scroll down, there's the submit button. So just be sure to scroll down and hit that submit. And again, we'll give you a different few seconds here to handle that. All right, we should have some poll results starting to come in here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so it looks like about 18% do less than 200 a day, 18% do 200 to 300, 10% 300 to 400, 18% 400 to 500, 18% more than 1,000. Wow, and none, 9%, and don't know, 10%. Again, that don't know is we see it quite often, maybe a little higher than the percentage we see indicated here, because again, a lot of times just the data on peel pack production is difficult to obtain, and if your instrument management system is giving you any data on it, a lot of times if you can get it, it's not all that accurate. So that's another advantage to our peel pack system, is you will get very accurate data as to exactly how many peel pouches are being produced, what size they are, and by what technician. So we get a lot of very accurate and very granular data, which is one of the benefits of all our systems. So I just wanted to share with you a little productivity analysis based on the number of peel packs you're producing each day. So if you were, and I didn't include the under 200 category here, but you could sort of extrapolate it from the data here if you need to, or any point in between. But here we see number of peel packs per day from 200, 300, 400, 500, and 1,000. And what I've done here, and I'm just going to assume that these, we're going to assume that these are the number of peel packs made every day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. So that's 260 working days per year. So if we take that to an annual level, it's between 52,000 and 260,000, right, peel packs being made per year. And if we look at the amount of labor associated with that, we can look at the amount of labor needed to create those peel pouches without our system, without AIM, and with AIM. And so so you'll see, right, and what I've used for without AIM is we've done some preliminary time studies, and it looks like we're seeing on average about a 4-minute time without our system for a technician to create a peel pouch. And that's on average. We spend a lot of time watching. You can't really observe the technicians directly because, of course, they tend to work a little faster there. So we spend a lot of time watching security camera footage in departments. And on average, that's what we're seeing. That there's variation in there. Some facilities that have a little bit more efficient or ergonomic setups, maybe see that get down to 3 minutes, but other facilities maybe even 5 or 6 minutes. So obviously, if you were at now on our system will create pouches at just under about a minute per instrument is a pretty safe time. It's even faster, right? If you're creating, say, 10 of the same pouch, it does that very, very quickly, and the average would drop if you're doing a lot of the same instrument repetitively. But we're going to use just a 1 minute per instrument average. And so, you can see even if your facility was at 2 minutes an instrument, which would be incredibly fast from what we've seen, we'd still be cutting that time by probably over or 50% if we were going from just 2 minutes an instrument to 1 minute. But again, what we're seeing is more of about a 4-minute average. So if we look at the labor needed to peel pack that many instruments at 4 minutes per instrument, this is how many hours of labor annually would be needed to handle this volume of peel pouches. This would be the number of labor hours needed with our system. So again, this is at 1 minute a pouch. And you'll see, right, quite a significant labor savings there, time savings. So we're talking about saving anywhere from 2,600 hours a year labor up to 13,000 hours per year in labor, which if we equate that to sort of FTEs, right? How many FTEs could we liberate in your department and get them right? And a lot of techs we find don't particularly love the peel pack assignment. So, right, we're talking about potentially liberating or allowing you to redeploy anywhere from 1 FTE to 6 FTEs, right? Depending on depending on your volume. And again, this just assumes, right, an 8-hour work day and 260 working days per year. So. And it just gives you a good sense of what we're talking about as far as the efficiency, right, you're going to get from the system. So really allowing you to free up a lot of technicians' time and redeploy them to other areas in the department here. So that sort of labor analysis allows us to create generally a very, very strong business case for AIM peel pack. So the operational benefits, this increased productivity, right, that reduction in labor hours needed can be tied directly to operating cost reductions, right? So in allowing you to improve your labor utilization, less overtime. We find a lot of times, a lot of departments are understaffed. So they may have a large overtime budget or a large overtime expense, and again, this will help, right, reduce that by reducing the number of labor hours needed, right, for your peel packing needs. And these benefits, right, result in just a measurable sort of hard cost savings that we can, tie to return on investment calculations for your facility. So there's also a materials utilization benefit. So as we've spoken about, right, we're now getting a much more consistent process, but we're also lowering the cost of your peel pouch material. So again, you can switch your material purchasing to a lower cost material. So switching it all, or a portion of it from, again, the pre-sealed pouches to roll material. And then there's just less material waste because you're getting a very consistent product now, right? So you're always getting the right size pouch cut to the correct length. So a lot less material waste there. And again, those two things, right, both the material cost savings and the labor utilization allow us to calculate a very demonstrable return on investment for your facility. So we can, and this is something we're happy to work with you to create the business case for this. It's generally a very strong case, so we see return, ROIs over 70%, very quick paybacks. So, the system really allows you to kind of start saving money, almost from day one. So very, very strong ROI on the system. And again, we're happy to work with you and your facility to, get the data. It's driven by your cost of labor and how many pouches you're making per average on per day or annually. And with those two inputs, we can again really help show that return on investment for you. So sort of, in summary, AIM Peel Pack is a proven solution for improving process quality. So you're going to get now a much more consistent peel pouch, right? Always the same size, always the same length. We're going to help you lower material costs. So going to be using less material and also cheaper material in that we're using the roll material instead of the pre-made pouches. You're going to get better data. So, again, our system creates very, very accurate and very granular data. You'll now know exactly how many peel pouches are being produced by whom and when. And we also know, of course, how long they take to make. So really accurate, right? What we call all of our systems really produce what we call actionable data. So it's data that a lot of times for the very first time is available to management and is very clear, right, and accurate. And then of course the productivity. So we're talking about potentially reducing peel pouching times by anywhere from 50 to 80% is what we've seen. So. So in summary, RST, we're an innovative technology company, and we're dedicated to improving sterile processing department quality and workflow. All of our systems are proven tools for SPDs to improve process quality, accountability, training and education, productivity, and inventory management. AIM Peel Pack can be shown to offer a very attractive return on investment for facilities, and we really look forward to working with you to help achieve excellence in sterile processing. So with that, I'd just like to pose one more poll question to you. The results of this won't be shared, but just for internal use, if you'd like us to follow up with you to get you some more information on either our Peel Pack product or any of our two other products, AIM Tray Assembly or AIM Storage, be happy to do so. And I'll just give everybody a chance to answer that poll question here. All right, I think we should have the results of that submitted. And again, if you did click yes, then me or someone from our team will be following up with you here shortly. With that, I'll just leave you with my contact information. So again, my name's Braun Kiess. I'm sort of the head of sales over here, do sort of sales and finance related work here. So yeah, and if you have any questions or want to reach out, happy to chat with you. Again, love to learn more about your facility and what your needs are. So you can reach me at the office. Feel free to call or text me on my mobile as well, or drop me an email. Our website's a great resource too. You can always bookmark it in your browser and check back. We're always introducing new products and new technologies. And I'd also mention too, if you're not already, please do follow us on social media. So you could follow us either on LinkedIn or on Facebook. And if you follow us on either of those platforms, you'll always be announced to future webinars. We do have an upcoming session for CE credits here in November that we're excited about on technology in the sterile processing environment and automation in the sterile processing environment. So if you're interested in registering for that, again, if you follow us on social media, you'll stay abreast of all those developments as well as new product introductions and new technology. So with that, I'm going to open it up for a question and answer session. I'll turn it back over to Lisa, who's going to help facilitate that for us.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much, Braun and the RST Automation team for providing this information and the technology that allows sterile processing techs to be more efficient. If you would like to learn more about this technology, you'll find Braun's contact information in the speaker window at the right side of your screen. And I want to just remind everyone again that there is the resources tool. You can download all of the accompanying website information and resources that they have provided for you. Thanks everyone for joining us. It looks like we're going to go ahead and sign off for today, and we will see you again soon at another Beyond Clean virtual event. Until then, keep fighting dirty.
Lisa, was there any questions that anyone had?
Oh, it looks like we had one pop up. I didn't have one until just now. So how has the technology impacted staff levels in SPD?
Good question. I mean, what we generally find is that a lot of departments are short-staffed to begin with. So what we find is that it actually allows them to redeploy labor. So, we take somebody, if you're doing, as you saw from our chart here, right, if you're doing, especially if you're doing a big volume of peel packs, right, I mean, 2, 3, 4, 500, 1,000 peel packs a day, you're talking about, potentially liberating enough labor to put them back in decontam, back on tray assembly, allowing techs to just do a better job really assembling trays too, right? I feel a lot of times the tray assembly process is too rushed, and there's a lot of pressure on the SPD to get these trays turned around so they can get right back up to the ORs. And it'd be great, right, and that partly arises because most departments are just consistently short-staffed. So now, right, if we're able to free up labor from this peel packing activity that a lot of techs don't really like spending a lot of time doing, it's right. The current process is sort of very mundane and repetitive and frustrating, I think, to a lot of techs. So let's spend less time doing that. Right, I always like to say there's things that machines are good at doing, and there's things that people are good at doing. And to get sort of the optimal outcome, what we need to do is let machines do the things that they're good at, which allows people to focus on the things that they're good at. And things where techs make a huge areas where techs make a huge difference is in quality, right? Quality inspection and testing of instruments, right? A whole other host of areas in the SPD where humans are far superior, right, to the machines in those areas. But when it comes to making a bag and printing a label, that's something, and identifying an instrument, these are some things that machines can do very well. So we should let them do that and let humans focus on what it is that they do very well. And so that was sort of a long-winded answer to your question. I apologize. In short, basically what we've seen is it allows a lot of facilities to either reduce their overtime or redeploy staff to different areas in the department that that need it, such as decontam or tray assembly. I have yet to see, put it another way, I have yet to see a sterile processing department that's overstaffed.
All right, excellent. We do have another question. What's a normal turnaround time for implementation, and how much training do you provide?
So we provide full training as sort of part of the in-service. So typically, and it'll depend again on sort of what state your peel pack process is in, and if you're using instrument management software or not. So for example, if you're using Microsystems SPM, we interface with them. We can very easily sort of just hook in, basically get on the network and sort of be up and running much more quickly than if perhaps you're not, or if you don't have any of your current peel pack data in even in an Excel file, right? So if you're not using an instrument management software, we can just as easily take sort of an Excel file of your most commonly peel packed or all the instruments you peel pack and sort of upload that into our system. But there is both some training. Again, the system is pretty straightforward to use. The touchscreen interface, doesn't take a lot of time to use, and so really there's some training on the systems part as far as allowing our system to learn the instrumentation. And actually, that's probably a great question for Russell. We have our head engineer here with us, and more I'm thinking about it, it's maybe a great question for him to comment on. So Russell, would you like to comment on the training and implementation side?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Russell Baker. I'm the chief engineer at RST. So as far as implementation, one of the key advantages to our system is that it makes the same bag every time, same bag size, length and width every time for the same instrument every time it's processed. That's information that if it's a new instrument has to be sort of told to the machine. The machine can learn it somewhat through the vision system, but there's often variations and sort of corrections that need to be made. So that's a part of the training process, getting people to understand how to adjust the bag sizes that are in the machine, and make sure that the machine knows all the bag sizes for the instruments. Otherwise, as Braun was saying, it's a fairly straightforward machine to use. We've tried to make it as simple as possible. The machine recognizes the instruments, you choose the instrument, and it produces the bag. So as far as the implementation is concerned, it's really a matter of both the machine learning some of the stuff about your facility, as well as the staff learning how to use the machine.
Yeah, no, thanks, Russell. I think that's what I was trying to say in a meandering way. So something else worth mentioning too with the system is that it really does help techs, get up to speed. New technicians get up to speed and be productive much quicker. So if you do have a new technician in the department who's maybe never done peel packing or peel pouching before, and maybe they're not sure what the instrumentation is that they're peel pouching, well, now they can, using our system, very quickly and easily create peel pouches, whereas they may not have been able to before because they may not have even known what the instrument was that they were looking at. So, so our technology, and our systems in general, really do help new technicians get up to speed much more quickly and be much more productive. And there is sort of a training and education component to our systems as well. So, when it identifies the instrument, it tells the technician that name of the instrument. So there's constant reinforcement there to the technician of what instrument it is that they're seeing. And with our tray assembly system, you can also put it in a training mode, which instead of automatically identifying it, asks the technician to tell the system what it is, and then it keeps score on all that. So so you can actually see how technician knowledge is evolving over time, and it can serve as a good training and education tool as well.
Wow, that is really interesting. How it can learn from the technician and just kind of continue advancing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the artificial intelligence component.
And we had another question. Someone asked if this presentation will be recorded and if it will be available to everyone. And we want to let everyone know that the presentation will be available on demand, and everyone will be receiving an email with a link so that you can watch it later.
All right, any other questions out there?
Okay. Well, this has been extremely exciting. It's fascinating to see just how much technology continues to develop and how you guys are part of that. And so we just want to encourage everyone to continue fighting dirty, and we'll see you guys at another Beyond Clean virtual event. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.